Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I should not give access to stockkeeper, this name, artist, a price, number of copies. How can you stop them? Just go to album class, make all these variables as a private, so that nobody can access them. That's the only way, right? So if I am not giving access to them, they cannot directly set the values to that variables. They don't have a provision to set the value directly. I can control one way. Now I can see you started getting errors here. Why these are not accessible? The reason they are clearly telling here the field album.name is not visible. Why it's not visible? Because we made private. Private means it is only accessible for this class only, not outside. So half of the problem is solved already. Now you cannot use variables there. So I cannot use variables. So I cannot use this variable here. So I have to remove that. Okay, I'll remove. But how I can access these variables? But I need to set this value, right? For this name, I need to set a value. So by generating the setters and getters. So how to write the setters and getters for these variables? The simple way is right click, source, and there is option generate getters and setters. So what if for whichever the variables you want to generate the setters and getters, select them, right click, source, generate getters and setters. You choose that, okay? And select all. So where you want, so after where you want to insert these methods, so after number of copies, okay? After this, I want to insert. So generate. See all the, for every method, you got a setters and getters. You can see here, set number of copies, set price, set artist, set name. Same way, maybe I'll separate these things, okay? Set number of copies, get number of copies I'll give. Set price, I'll put a get price, okay? So that you will get some idea. And the set artist, get artist. Get artist, right? So now see, set name, get name. So now you can observe here, set name, string name, this dot name equal to name, this dot name equal to name. So this dot name is representing, so instance variable, and right side one will represent the parameter. So now whenever you want to set any this instance variable value, you need to call this method. Now we don't have problem with the name. We don't have problem with the artist name. So we have problem only. So price and set number of copies, right? That's what they're wrong values. Now I need to set this. How can you set that? Just see this. If price is less than or greater than 0, you just put a greater than 0. Okay. If greater than 0, you set this value. else so else what you need to do, this dot price you set as a, else means what, is a negative value 0.0 you set. So you are controlling, you can write the logic for this method. So that means if anybody give a negative value, even they can give, but we have to control that. So what we are doing, if price greater than 0, you set that price whatever they are giving. If price is less than 0, what you are setting? You are setting as a 0. Is this clear, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Are you clear or you have any doubt?
No, clear so far.
Yeah. Same number of copies also. If number of copies is greater than 0, you set that value. Else, so this dot number of copies equal to 0. That's it. See now, get number of copies means, say that what is the return type of this method? Integer. How do you know this? You have to write a int, the data type of this variable. How do you know this data type? You are writing a string here and that variable data type. So access modifier, return type, method name, and return keyword. So, and setter methods are void methods because it's not, you are just setting the value. But here you are accessing the value, that variable value. Once you set it, you can access it. So setter methods for setting the value for the variable and getter methods are getting the value. So now this dot name you observe here, this dot name is referring this instance variable. That means current class. This means I told you current class instance variable it is referring. If you write, otherwise if you don't write, how do you know in this, how do you know which one is the parameter, which one is the instance variable? Can you differentiate here now?
No.
So to differentiate that, whenever your parameter name and instance variable name is same, to distinguish that, the instance variable and the local parameter, you just write this dot name will refer the instance variable and the right side one is going to be this one. Even color also changed, you observe that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see the color difference?
Yes, they both were the same color before, but now the parameter actually matches the parameter color, and then this dot name, the color matches the instance variable up top.
Instance variable, exactly. When you write this dot name will refer always instance variable value. Okay, that's one useful concept of this keyword. So
Mm-hmm.
again, representing this, why you need to use this? This is used to refer the instance variable in the current class. Current class, if you want to refer, you will use this keyword. And there are other examples. I'll tell you those examples where you will use this keyword. Even for method calling purpose also you will use. See, now we generated the setters and getters. Now let's go here. So you cannot access directly, right? You have to use the method now. So the method is set name method. So I'm passing this parameter to that method because you have to give a parameter for this method, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm giving a parameter. Same way, set artist. So artist here. Same way, set price. Price. Set number of copies. Number of copies. Right? See, you are
Mm-hmm.
calling the methods before you call the variables. Now what you are doing? You are calling the methods. So you are calling the methods to set the album variable name, album artist name, album price, album number of copies values. How you are setting? You are setting through setter methods. You are setting through setter methods. So that is what setter methods. And also, for example, these you want to get, now you set it, right? You want to
Mm-hmm.
access them. So you want to access so those variable values, what you need to do? You need to access the getter methods. Get name. See that? So easy. to access the one, because we said there in the 17, 18 to 20 lines, we set the values. Now you can get it through getter methods. Okay. So now you see, now if you give a negative also, nothing will happen. So that will be controlled. So they cannot give any wrong values also. If you give wrong values, also, they can be controlled. So because we have written a logic, right, already. See, 0, 0. Whatever they have given negative values, you are not getting. Because we have built a logic in the setters and getters. So that's where the, all the, logic you can build in the methods itself. Okay. So that's the main purpose of your, this is also called POSO class. This is also called POSO class, whichever the class has a setters and getters, and that is called POSO class. Okay. Plain object Java. So models we call them. So this is the no POSO classes also we call them, and the setters and getters. For every method you can observe one setter method, one getter method you will write. So that only through methods you can access anywhere, but not directly variables. So it's a secure, right? You cannot access the value so directly. You cannot access a variable directly. So that's how no data will be secured. So all the bank, your bank account holder name, bank balance, bank account number, everything they will declare as a private in the uh, bank software. Then they will give methods as a public. So public methods you can access everywhere. So that's how the data will be secured. Anything that is sensitive data, they will make the variables declaration as a private, and you can access anywhere like this. So even no, you can access this method through parameterized constructor. You are setting this variable name. See, we are setting that variable name through parameterized constructor. The one way you can set with the setter method. The other way you can set any variable value through parameterized constructor also. Remember, make a note of this highly. So put all stars, multiple stars for this. So what is the concept? How you can set a instance variable value? One is through setter method. The other one is through parameterized constructor. See, same, this name, stockkeeper name, I set through parameterized constructor. See, here we are setting. So whatever, when you call this constructor here, I call this constructor. I set that value. So this value, whatever you set, it went and set for this instance variable. So that what I am calling here, this dot name. Or you can create one more getter method. So you set with a constructor, right? I can get with a getter method. So how can I create a getter method? Public. So what is the return type of this name variable? String. Get name. So return name. See, instead of this dot name, I can call this dot get name. See, this keyword will be used to call the current class instance method. So that's what I'm referring, this dot get name. So you will get the same value. See, Jandy. Okay. So this is how you can set or get your instance variable either through setter methods or through constructor, parameterized constructor. See, you need to understand here, sir. I'm just again explaining this. This is the data type. Okay. This is the local variable. Local variable is a reference variable, assignment operator. And this entire thing is called object. But this part is called constructor part. A constructor can be parameterized constructor or default constructor. So constructors are two types. Till before this class, in the all control structures, so methods, we learned only default constructor. We are not passing any value here, right? We are directly calling class name parenthesis without any parameters. Now here I passed, because this is the parameterized constructor. Because this class has a parameterized constructor, while creating object for this class, you need to pass this parameter value. That's what I did here. Okay. So you are you clear on this line completely, each and every word? Or you want me to explain one more time?
Yes, but I'll watch the video again just to make sure I get it right.
This is the class name. This is the variable, reference variable. But this variable is what type of variable? A reference variable will be a global variable or a local variable. So now this variable now here, what type of variable is this?
It's a local variable.
It's a local. Why? This variable before the class name is there. So you are declaring in this method only, method inside only. Method inside you are declaring, that's why this is a local variable. And this is the assignment operator. Assignment operator means this entire part is a value. So that means this object value is copied here. So skobj means, what is skobj? Variable equal to new stockkeeper, and John D is the value. Now, new is the operator. New is the operator which creates an object for the class. Now, this entire thing is called object. And if you individually you see, new is the keyword which creates an object. And this stockkeeper parenthesis value is the parameterized constructor. This new after whatever is there, that is called parameterized constructor. Here, in the previous classes, we have seen this one. You see this new album parenthesis. This is the default constructor. This one. Only this one is the default constructor. But when you call new album parenthesis, is the entire thing is called object. New album parenthesis is called object. Here also new stockkeeper John D is called object. But when you individually, if you see, this is a parameterized constructor and this is a default constructor. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, new is the operator or keyword which is used to create an object for the class. And assignment operator is which is assigning this right side entire object value to this value, this variable. So this is the you need to read. The class name is the a data type. Which data type of class? What are the data types?
We have string, integer, float, double, long,
What you
char,
call
boolean,
the data types? I'm
all
asking.
primitive data types.
Huh?
Primitive data types, right? What I was referring to
Now,
just now.
what is this? What is this data type? Is this a primitive data type, or what is the other
No,
name?
it is a class.
Okay, class fine, but what is the name you call that? What data type is? The data types are two types, right?
Non-primitive data type.
Non-primitive, exactly. Non-primitive data type. So all classes, interfaces, everything comes under non-primitive. So class also one data type. So data type, variable name. So that means local variable. So this local variable you are declaring inside the method. So that's why it's a local. Local to this method only, this main method only. You cannot use in this methods this skobj. If you want to use, you should not declare it as a local. As simple as that. That's what the variables concept I told you already. So variable concept is a very crucial, sir. It can be for objects, it can be for anything. Okay. So here even see I declared this album class, that object reference variable as a parameter. Class object reference I'm making as a parameter. You can make object reference as a parameter, as a global variable, as a local variable also. Always this object reference variable value is new album. So anybody ask what is the value of this object reference? You have to tell this is the value. For album class, album object. You confused it here. I don't know why, but so that's what the class name object reference equal to this one. No, now this value is this one. What is the value? New album.
Yeah, I'm just
Right?
so used to seeing it as so the previous line where it's a stockkeeper skobj, right? I'm kind of used to seeing it in that way. The whole if you wrote album equals new album, then I would probably so it's just a visual thing for me.
Yeah, you have to capture that. Okay, so now okay, stockkeeper sk object value is this one. Okay, now album object reference is what?
New album.
Yeah, that's what, right? The logical thinking little bit. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we need to understand these points. That's why this line understanding each and every word is important, so that you can answer any kind of questions and anything. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Practice this, and one exercise for you is take a mobile class. Okay. So in the mobile class, you declare a mobile different parameters. What are the variables you need to declare is mobile model, mobile price, mobile operating system. So these things you declare, and you create a setters and getters and try to access, and different mobiles you give values, creating object for that. Okay, in the another class. Okay,
Sure.
that's what's exercise you need to do. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So on this and that program, both you send it.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah. So that's it for